Thursday, February 27th. Dude, how many days are in February?
Not enough.
28.
One more.
Thursday, folks. Today we're talking about Bernie Moreno's manufacturing bill, which was pretty much a showstopper.
Show-stopping days.
They could, I mean, the man seemed like he was on a mission when we talked to him a few weeks ago.
Look.
And he said, we're going to do this bill. Want to come back on the show when we do? And I was just yesterday. I was like, when is that bill coming out?
And here it came, full swinging. I'm excited to talk about that one.
Yeah. And so look, the big news, we spent yesterday going through a SodaCon panels and keynotes and orchestrating them, curating them, getting some really great titles for the panels this year.
Spreadsheets on point right now.
Love me a good spreadsheet.
No, you don't.
You know
don't
that's
you
a
lie
lie
about that.
I thought I could sell it to the
Thursday
audience.
morning. You can't sell that to them. No, but this is probably the earliest that we've had the topics and titles to a SodaCon, and we've really thought about like how do we get topics across M&A, fixed ops, sales, AI, marketing, and everything in between. And so if you're really looking to kind of like hit a few different areas and not just think about ops or not just think about marketing, or you're a fixed ops person wondering about what's going on in the most innovative sales in the industry, like this is going to be the place to be.
We say it every year on day one of a SodaCon, and we'll say it now. We'll say it again on day one of a SodaCon this year, is that no matter what area of the dealership you specialize in and you like to think about, you spend most of your time in, please go to at least one session that you would never pick.
Right. Yep.
Because there's something for you to learn in your area of expertise by understanding what's going on over there. And that's one of the beautiful things about when you look at the sessions, when you look at the variety of topics, is that there really is, you can learn about every single area of the dealership in 30, 40 minutes.
Yep.
Exactly. And then meet a few people who are, you're like, I'm going to start listening to that person. Because most of the people on stages, the vast majority, 70% of the people on stages also are on LinkedIn, are making content somehow.
And they're just in and around the event. Like we don't bring people that don't want to stay around, stick around, have conversations. So it really is about the conversations inside and outside of like the actual place where the panel happens or something like that.
So true.
I think I counted from all of like the main stage and the panels. If you find yourself in one of those every single time there's content, you can find yourself seeing over 15 individualized topics in 2 days and still have time to visit the people, the partners that are going to be on the floor, to still have conversations in between.
Eat some happy hours,
right?
Eat some
hours.
Food, buy some Soda swag. The swag shop's going to be next.
Be tight.
Actually, the swag experience, when you just show up and you get your really nice More Than Cars bag, you're gonna
you feel something.
You're gonna feel.
Speaking of feeling
well,
something.
not just yet. That was a great segue. But I wanted to make sure everybody knows, if you're thinking of going, go to asoducon.com. Buy your ticket now. It's a cheap. Are they going up in March?
They will go. They'll go up in April. So you got
you got a little time on the discount.
Send them
still.
up $5 just because you said it.
No, we're not going to do that. However, what you will likely not get at the end of March is a hotel room in the event venue
at the end of March.
100%. You won't. So go now. Get your ticket early. You can get access to the app. Start to see the conversations going on there. Be the first to know all the other stuff, and have our eternal gratitude for being an early adopter of a SodaCon. Speaking of early adopters,
segue.
Woo, some people raising their hands in protest or celebration. Bernie Moreno, senator from Ohio, former car dealer, is introducing the, quote, Transportation Freedom Act,
Come on now.
a bill aimed at repealing federal emissions rules, reducing regulations, and providing tax breaks for automakers, aka called the bill to reverse everything that's happened in the last 4 years. Bill, it's looking to eliminate the EPA tailpipe emissions rules and block California's zero-emission vehicle mandate. It offers, get this is something we had never heard. We were talking about it earlier, 200% tax deduction on wages paid to U.S. auto workers for automakers that make at least 75% of their production domestically, which is up to $150,000 per worker. So even if that worker makes $80,000, they can get a $150,000 tax deduction to incentivize U.S. jobs, U.S. manufacturers, U.S. auto workers. His bill would end the arbitrary cafe fuel standards and replace them within 6 months with new achievable regulations that actually align with what the consumers want to buy. GM, Stellantis, Toyota, NADA, the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, the American Trucking Associations all back this legislation.
That's heavy.
Bernie Moreno said, quote, thanks to liberal bureaucrats who want to mandate what cars Americans can drive, states like mine are riddled with car lots full of expensive EVs people simply don't want, and dormant factories that once employed millions of American workers. The only winner is China.
I mean,
he woke up with a thing.
Just came in like, here I come. The interesting one to me here is the fact that Stellantis and Toyota are on this. Obviously, we think of a lot of the Stellantis brands as American made,
for sure.
Stellantis as a whole, European, and then Toyota backing this. Really interesting to see that they're on board with this. They obviously already do a good amount of manufacturing in the U.S., but some of the tax provisions and especially some of the things around the EVs, the CAFE standards that California's really been leading the way, and you've got 11 states following them, really disrupting that. And when we talk to Bernie, the thing that I was most struck by is that he has we say these words a lot in our world, a measured approach to all of this. It's not like he's saying don't bring EVs. It's saying yes, they're coming, but allow them to come as the consumer wants them. So where it may look like a complete reversal, it's really just a restandardization of the expectation and letting the consumer make the choice on what they're going to buy, where they're going to buy it, and incentivizing U.S. production.
I mean, I think that was a stated purpose of the last administration as well. And I think this is one of the most creative ways to incentivize American auto worker jobs.
Wow.
And like they have to, what was the other requirement? Like they have to, they're not able to spend any of that money on corporate, stock buybacks. So even if you think of something that both sides might agree on, it's like big companies getting richer off of some government involvement. So it's like, we'll give you the tax deduction, but you can't use that to just enrich yourself. You have to pour it back in to American workers, American manufacturers. We thought it was a pretty creative deployment. I know a lot of people have differing opinions on it, but I mean, from the auto industry, that's a pretty big shot across the bow. Speaking of shots across the bow, boom,
Segway.
Boom. Take that. GM doubling down on returning value to shareholders, announcing a 25% dividend increase and a new $6 billion share buyback program, not with tax deduction dollars. This move, which sent shares up 6%, comes as the automaker looks to balance investor returns with their investments in EVs. They're going to repurchase $2 billion in shares by mid-2025, with the remaining $4 billion at its discretion, and the quarterly dividend will rise from 12 to 15% per share, effective in April. GM repurchased 87 million shares in Q4 2023, completing a previous $10 billion buyback. They project a net income of $11.2 billion to $12.5 billion for this year, with $10 to $11 billion in capital spending, as it's working to narrow those so quickly mounting EV investment losses.
Well, this is wild. Like, just the fact that they are reducing expenses on the EV side, figuring out how to have more profitable EVs and manufacturing less of them. All of a sudden, you got more net income projected. You got dividends, some stock buybacks, money's going into the pockets of investors, and the stock price is going up. Looks like some things are winning around the GM.
I think so
right now.
Look, I think I love seeing when OEMs are thinking strategically about how they're going to make this new regular cadence of EV life a functional part of the business.
Yeah, because it has to be there. It's not going away.
Never.
We're over 13% is market penetration on.
Did you hear I'm getting an EV?
Are you getting an EV?
I'm going to get an EV next week.
Are we going to hear? We're going to
certainly are.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah. But so it's not going away. It's just managing the business verticals appropriately so that you give the highest value to the consumer, the highest value to the shareholder, and the highest value to the employee. And it's winning for GM.
It sure is. All right, last story today. I don't know. I'm gonna say, speaking of winning, I don't know who's winning or losing on this one.
Someone's winning, but the Las Vegas.
Oh, actually, speaking of winning, winners,
Segway.
Here we go.
rolling the dice, all of the things. We're not sure what it is
talking
yet.
Las Vegas and their Metro Police Department. They are bringing some futuristic flair to law enforcement, announcing the addition of 10 Tesla Cybertrucks to its patrol and SWAT fleets. But the real mystery, nobody knows who they were donated by because it was an anonymous sponsor.
Whoa.
Sheriff Kevin McMail made the announcement during the 2025 State of the Department event, saying on X, these are, quote, badass. The Cybertrucks will be customized for patrol and SWAT operations, and they'll integrate them with semi-autonomous drones and shot spot technology. So like they're getting all the technology up in this thing.
So basically it looks like it came out of the game Halo.
It literally, like we've been saying,
it already kind of does.
Like it's unbelievable. The speculation right here is that some are saying maybe Elon donated these things, considering that they're having a little bit of
if you have a few Cybertrucks sitting around on your lot,
you need to unload
and it's just
them.
they're just parked over there in Austin, Texas. And you're like, you know what? How can we get an ROI? And, you know, Tesla's not really big on spending money on marketing. But if you have some metal sitting around and you can donate them to the police force in Las Vegas, high profile, lots of travel.
People rolling around.
Lots of travel,
goodness.
International traffic. Yep. And you have these badass Cybertruck police vehicles rolling around.
In the middle of the desert in Vegas. Like it's the perfect spot for it.
It really is. So really I would not surprised if those came from Elon himself. But I think, I mean, they impose a presence. The purpose of security vehicles is to deter people from doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like an armored vehicle.
When that it is, well, kind of is an armored vehicle.
It kind of is.
Right.
We've proven that with the YouTube video.
So yeah, exactly. So I think it's enough. I think it's enough of a little good donation story. We always want to see the police have what they need to protect us. But I think it's also a great brand play if it is them. And I also think it just really fits the glitz and glamour and over the topness of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, like Dubai's got Lamborghini, Las Vegas has Cybertrucks.
Who knows?
It seems like it makes sense. Cue the music. We hope you have an amazing day. It is the 27th. You got one more day in February, folks. Whatever it is, we know that you can go out there, take care of some people, take care of one another. We're going to do our best to take care of you. We'll see you here tomorrow.